Jackals! 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 Down in Langley late at night, smart old guys that play it right. Captain Fun Bobby leads the charge. Silky Mitts, Johnny Gunshots coming large. Putty in the slot, all the Chris's in a row. Nighthawks battle, it's a 2-1 show. Jackals! 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 Rolling down the line. 10:30 puck drop, leaving sleep behind. Jackals! 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 Every day's Lloyd's birthday here. Whoppers and Fresco raise a cheer. Don't forget a shower beer. Check Pab's beard for lost gear. Jackals, Jackals, rolling down the line. 10:30 puck drop, leaving sleep behind. Jackals, Jackals, Jackals. Langley twin rings, empty seats, homeless living on the streets. A Chargers hat for tailgating, nachos for the lady bag. Jackals, Jackals, keeping up the flame. Jackals, Jackals, you can't stop the rain. Jackals!
Jackals TV returns to the chilly confines of Langley Twin Rinks for another game between the Jackals, and this time they'll be playing the Hornets. The Hornets there on the right side of the screen. We seem to be in a bizarro world where the two jerseys are just flipped here. So the Hornets on the right in the light blue jerseys, Jackals on the left in the white jerseys with the light blue trim. Another reason to potentially suggest this is a game from the Bizarro world is the fact that the Jackals are actually dressing 0 spares for this game. They'll have a full roster of 9 forwards and 4D today here, just down 2 players, Gary Pabla and Darwin, unable to make this game. And so no spares required, and we'll have just regular Jackals here dressed today. These two teams have met once before this year. That was a game where the Jackals had to use a spare goalie, and it was a high-scoring affair that the Hornets ended up winning 9-6. So the Jackals are back with Trevor and net, and we'll see if that makes a difference. So let's head to the first period. And we're going to start this one off with the Hornets moving the puck through the neutral zone. They're going to hit this player coming hard down the left side, and he's going to take it to the net, take a shot. It's off Trevor's glove and wide, but then he falls awkwardly into the boards, then stumbles as he tries to rise, and then the puck nearly hits him in the face as that point shot gets deflected wide to the right. Now we see Aaron's going to pick up this long stretch pass from David Atkinson. He's in behind the Hornets D. He has to skate onto a corral. He's got a backhand shot. He puts it up high, blocker, but it's off the goaltender into the corner. So now we're back to the Hornets coming back the other way. They're going to turn this into a 3-on-2 essentially. Pass gets across. That player goes to shoot it, and it's off Trevor, then off the crossbar, down to the goal line. Bob sweeps at it and knocks it out of the air and gets it out of the zone to keep it from crossing the line. With the play now behind the Jackals net, watch 14 come in to try to get that puck, and he sweeps his leg that catches Darryl from behind and slew foots him down awkwardly to the ice. He is shaken up a bit, but was able to return to the game. Hornets really start to take over this game. Here they come through the neutral zone with speed, then in on Bob, around him with a nice move to backhand, and then try to do a backhand move on Trevor as well, but he's got it and keeps it out. Here come the Hornets again with speed, and as they move around David, he sticks his stick in there and catches him in the skates. That's going to be a tripping penalty to David and handing the Hornets a power play, the first one of the game. Off the ensuing faceoff, they pick that up, and again, Aaron is reaching in and catches the player in the skates. So that's going to be the second consecutive tripping penalty for the Jackals when they eventually touch this there after Trevor has to make a save on a nice tip shot there. So back-to-back tripping penalties, and the Jackals are going to be down 5-3. So the Hornets are going to work it around to their right point here. They're going to take the shot. That's going to hit a body, hit Jer, and then go right to a player on the left side, but Trevor tracks it well, gets across and makes a save. 5-on-3 continues. Hornets again working around. This time they're going to make a pass to the back door. Player was there all alone, but he couldn't handle it. It goes through his leg, but they still maintain possession. And they're going to execute a nice little give and go to set up 22 right in the middle of the ice, right down the gut. But Trevor gets a blocker on it, turns it to the corner. And with the 5-on-3 successfully killed, the Jackals are in the offensive zone. There's a nice shot by David from the point. Aaron tips it on net, and then Jared collects the rebound and whips it towards the net. But that's going to be the period running out, and the Jackals are going to be fortunate to still be tied 0-0. Here they are, picking up a turnover in the offensive zone. Lloyd puts it over to Chris Marshall, who whips it on. The rebound's there, and it just hops over Rob's stick as it comes out the other side. The Jackals finally starting to get some chances, but the tripping epidemic is going to continue here. Again, this time it's Darryl with his stick into the leg area of the Hornets player, and that ends up tripping up. So the third consecutive tripping penalty here for the Jackals. And here are the Hornets again on the power play, passing it out to the player in front who has some time to put it on net, but Trevor sticks with it, makes a save, and then the Jackals can't get it out, and that same player gets another chance to get a shot on that, but again is denied. Penalty is winding down. 22 comes across, big slap shot. The rebound is way up in the air. Bob takes a swing at it and misses. It gets shoveled out to another Hornets player. Then a big sliding block attempt from Chris Weeger. I think he gets a piece of it, and Trevor covers it up. There's a point shot by Rob that gets tipped just wide. Bob comes down and gets it, throws it out front to Jer, who picks up the puck, sweeps it on net, gets a couple cracks at it, but can't get it through. We remain scoreless. Hornets get this screen shot attempt here that Trevor does well to make a nice blocker save on, and then a neat little move there by David to beat that forechecker and get it out. This Hornet pass attempt is going to get disrupted in the neutral zone by Bob, who's going to poke it ahead and then carry it up around that defender. He's got Chris Stuar ahead of him, so he slides it up to him, trying to set him on a mini breakaway, but it just rolls off Chris Stuar's stick. Jackals seemed to be reversing the trend of the first period when it was all Hornets scoring chances. Now it's a point shot from Darryl that hits a body in front, and Rob tries to collect it and sweep it on that, but he can't quite get control of it. Hornets back the other way. Drop pass for another slap shot from 22, and again, Trevor kicks it aside. It's going to get turned over then, though, to the Jackals, and Rob's going to put that off to the right side to Chris Marshall, who's going to drive wide with it, and then he's going to cut in front, and it's loose, and Lloyd is there, and so is Rob. Also, Chris on the left side, and the puck rattles around but won't go in. Here comes 22 from the Hornets again, and all those slap shots aren't working, so he's going to try something different. Fake right, go left, around Bruce, and then try to do the same to Trevor, but again, the move to Trevor's backhand on the breakaway doesn't work. Jackals now make what will be an ill-advised change. 4 players changing, leaving Bruce all alone to face that 2-on-1. There's a slap shot. Trevor does have it, but the rebound gets kicked out to the player who's in front, who fires it home past the glove, and the Hornets now have a 1-0 lead. Here's another Hornets 2-on-1, and Bob disrupts the initial pass attempt. It's going to end up down in the corner, and they're going to try and throw it out front, and Bob's going to be there again to pick that up. He's going to look up and see nothing but ice, so he's going to take it for a skate. He's got JD with him. He's going to beat that first guy, turn it into 2-on-1, try to beat that player, then toe hooks, but it's going to go right to Jay, who whips it on that, beats the goalie, but can't beat the post. Rebounds there. Jer and Bob are swinging at it. Gets knocked in the air. So an excellent opportunity there for the Jackals to tie it as this period is winding down. But that's not going to be their last chance. Now we're going to see Jer coming up the right side, and again it's Chris Stuar, and he comes up the left, gets the pass, throws it on net, but he gets turned aside by the goaltender. So 2 great chances for the Jackals to tie, but we go to the third period, still 1-0 Hornets. They're going to look to capitalize early to get that 2-goal lead, but a nice backhand shot is turned away by Trevor. So now here's Darryl swooping in his own zone. He's going to pass it up to Johnny, send him on a breakaway. He's in alone, takes the shot, rebound is just outside of Darryl's reach. It looked like he had a good chance to maybe put that home to tie the game up. But now we're back in the Jackals zone. Hornets going to try the wraparound, but Trevor sees it coming and seals the post off. Here comes Darryl again, and this time he's going to make a drop pass to Jer, who's going to take the slap shot, and the goaltender has to stretch out and reach for it, and again Darryl's going for the rebound, and it's just out of his reach yet again. Jackals win this faceoff. It's over to David, who's going to put it over to Chris Stuhart, back to Bob, who then takes a shot on net that Chris Stuhart tips, and it looks like it has a chance to go in on the far side, but the goalie stretches out, makes a save, and the rebound is out of reach for the Jackals in front. So now it's back deep into their own zone, and that damn banana peel has returned and catches David in the corner, and luckily he avoids falling into the boards. Hornets now with an offensive zone faceoff. They're going to win the draw back to the point. Put it down to the right side, and then slide it in front of this guy who whips it at the net, but there's a sliding block attempt from Rob there, and it may have also hit Bruce in front, but it gets deflected wide, and that's going to allow the Jackals to come back the other way. Here's Lloyd up the right side, chips it through to Chris Marshall, who takes it in behind the net, loses control of it, and as he does, that player's going to have careless control of his stick. It's in behind his body, but it's going to catch Chris in the face, and that's going to be 4 minutes for high sticking. So an excellent opportunity here for the Jackals with just 6 minutes left. 4-minute power play over to David with a big slap shot that the goalie essentially has to do the splits to keep out. Play is still down in the Hornets zone, and David's going to make sure it stays that way. Catching that one with his hand, throwing it towards the front of the net. Jason's there, but he doesn't quite have control of his stick to get a tip attempt on that shot. Bob keeps it in along the left wall, makes a move around the player, puts it behind the net to Chris Weeger, who throws it up front to John, who can't quite control it. So still time left in this 4-minute power play, though. Hornets put it up the wall. Bob keeps it in, knocks it down, and then chops it towards the net, and it skips through the crease as Chris Stewart gives it some help, and it goes to Jer on the far side, and he gets 2 cracks at it from that side, but he can't get it to get through the goaltender. So the power play does end. Jackals can't quite score on it, and so here they are now trying to defend the other way. 2-on-1 attempt, and that player is going to go down the right side and find the 5-hole, and that's going to kill any chance for the Jackals to come back in this one. They're going to lose this game 2-0. That's quite the change from the previous game that was a score fest at 9-6. This one, let's have a look at the stats. Of course, not much to change there with the Jackals getting shut out, but definitely want to note Trevor's excellent outing in net there with 34 saves on 36 shots. We'll have a quick look at the season stats, which of course also haven't changed other than some minor adjustments to the plus minuses, and of course the elevation of Trevor's save percentage. The season is winding down here towards its Christmas break. 2 other games this week in the division. There you see the Hornets and the J-Bones Welding tying, and the Black Aces having to play against the Hosers, who were moved up to another division. So let's have a look at the standings in the division. You see the Jackals well below all the rest of the teams, so they have received assurance from the league that they will be playing in a different division when they come back from the Christmas break. Speaking of which, there's just 1 week of games left, so just one more game left in this division, so we hear, for the Jackals, and it's a rematch against the Great Kazoos, who they lost to 4-3 last week. So we'll see you there for that game before the Christmas break, and then hopefully return for some games against some more suitable competition after the break. See you then.